Hello, Serge here from the Backyard Driving Range. We have a question that came into the site, and this one comes from Roger Basquet. And Roger says, thought maybe you could address this issue on one of your daily videos. I may be the only one having this problem, but maybe not. On my takeaway into the catcher's mitt and up the tree, my left knee collapses in toward my right. I am right-handed. My playing partners say this is causing the problem I have hitting my mid-irons. Can you have any insights? Thanks, Roger. Roger, you're not the only one having these problems. In fact, as we started doing these online lessons, so far every lesson I've had, the number one issue in the swing has been the left knee moving in. And so let's establish that when I get into my setup with the wide knees outward pressure, the ankles, knees, hips, and shoulders should be in line up to the shoulders. With the wide knees outward pressure, I call that riding a skinny horse, okay? And so the concept is that we have a narrower stance than is taught by most folks, because we want to have that narrow stance, which means we can load quicker with less possibility of, and in fact almost no possibility of swaying too much, and especially of sliding too much to go to your forward swing, which, as you just saw me, if you slide a fraction too much, you can start losing your balance. And or your left leg, if your stance is wide, your forward leg starts to straighten out and pushes you backwards into reverse tilt. Reverse weight shift, excuse me. So the key is that when you have the wide knees outward pressure, the idea is that the number one important issue here is to have the forward leg resist moving in the backswing. I want you to think of your knees as your levelers and stabilizers. All right. The only way you could stay level, which will automatically now means if the knees stay level, your hips will stay level, your spine will stay level, your shoulders, your head will stay level, and things will stay level, and therefore have just less chance of moving or changing angles. And secret number one of the peak performance golf swing is golf's a game of angles. The fewer the better. And so the key is let's go back now and say what is the definition of the peak performance golf swing? A limited turn, three-quarter backswing. So we turn only as much as it takes to get the left arm if that's your forward arm, or we'll say forward arm over the toe line and up. And so once you turn to the toe line, which is a very little turn, it's only about 70 degrees to get your forward arm over the toe line. Once you reach the toe line with the shaft in your left arm, there's no more turn. It's all lift. All right, so from a front view, that would be from here. I'm only going to turn. I'm over the toe line. Look at how little my shoulders have turned. That's 90. That last 20 degrees puts you in a sacred burial ground. You know the rules. You can stand in it, but if you're swinging it, you're dead, because the only way out of the sacred burial ground for most people is over the top, outside in. So the key is to control the turn by controlling your forward leg. But what is the dilemma that exists in the world of golf today? Because most golfers have been taught, and the number one priority in golf is to take a big turn, and the more turn you can make, the more power you're going to get in his swing. All right, because they're equating power with the more I turn my body this way and the faster I snap my body that way, which will pull my arms, the farther I want to hit the ball. Well, we're just the opposite. We're swinging with centrifugal force is our power source. We're the alternative energy power source. Green energy is the term they want to use now. Well, that's the peak performance swing. We do it with less body and hold the body so we can swing our arms faster. Centrifugal force, rock on a string. As I swing the rock faster and faster, my hand moves less. Well, this is the rock, this is the string, and this is your butt, and this is the hand. Rock, string, hand. So when we hold the body quieter, move less, and so we can swing the arms faster. So the key here is you have to resist the left knee. Your knees are your levelers and your stabilizers, but you can't stay level and stable. You can't maintain your angles if you turn your knee in, especially if you lift it and turn your knee in. And why has everybody been told that? Because that's going to help you make a bigger turn. But since we don't want to make a bigger turn, that's the last thing we want to do. So a lot of people get the outward pressure, but then they don't resist going back. You got to resist and fight this left knee moving, this forward knee moving. So when you stand in there and you resist it, the most my knee moves is about 1 inch. If you stand up and just get into a good posture and move your knee, how far can you move your knee before you feel it pulling your hips? When I give that test to students, almost every time they say, hardly at all, inch, two to most. And I guarantee you, most people, anything over an inch, they're starting to move. And as soon as this hip starts moving, because the body's an interconnected network of muscles and bones, they're all going down. Like when the engine starts on the train, as soon as it hitches up to the first one and it connects, that starts pulling the second one, the third one, the fourth one, and so on down the line till they're all moving. Well, that's what you are. You're connected. So the key is to resist. And that's why you're having problems, because you can't, it's impossible to keep your head still if you're moving your knees too much. It's impossible to have core stability if you're, and that's all you hear talking about now. They do all these exercises. They got players standing on these little half-round balls, and they're trying to teach them how to turn in practice and turn and maintain their balance. Yeah, that's okay. That's great if you could do it on that. But as soon as you get in here and you start turning too much, you're going to lose it. And I guarantee you, people practicing on those core balance things, they're not turning anywhere near as much as they turn when they're going to get out there and put a club in their hand. So, but you don't need all that. I mean, core balance is great, core strength is great, but use it for the right reasons. And you get your core balance you get your core balance with the peak performance setup just by getting the wide knees out with pressure, which is our trademark for the swing, and maintain it. Resist this leg moving, this knee moving, and when you do that, you'll have just a nice little 70-degree turn, 3/4 backswing, and just poof, swing right down through to pop up to the tee finish, and you'll hit a bullseye like that one instead of hitting it more solid straight and hitting those lower scores. Another thing I really want you to remember about this wide knees out with pressure and maintaining them is that just think about that. If you do move your left knee, which everyone's been told, and you move that left or forward knee inward, what is it starting to do? It's breaking down, and if you look at this leg with that angle, it's starting to look like a K. Just want you to remember this surgism. Special K is for breakfast, not backswing. All right? So if you're making special K, you're very likely reverse tilting, and if you reverse tilt, your spine's tilting forward, and then to swing back the other way, you likely will be reverse weight shifting. Go to reverse weight shift. And that's where all the ball striking problems come into play. So get the wide knees out with pressure and resist that leg movement, and you'll see that your ball striking will improve everything from the wedges right up through your driver. Okay, well, that's it for the search for today, and I'll be talking to you all again soon.